Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack open a framework that has been a secret weapon for businesses for decades, the 4Ps of marketing. Now, it might sound a little classic, a little old school, but you're about to see why it is still the absolute best place to start when you're building a marketing strategy that actually works.
Okay, so if you're a small business owner, does this sound familiar? You're juggling social media, SEO, email campaigns, maybe some ads. It can honestly feel like you're just lost in this giant, chaotic maze. You know marketing is important, but the real question is, where on earth do you even start?
Well, here's the good news. There is a map. There's a simple, elegant framework that just cuts through all that noise and helps you build a strategy from the ground up that just makes sense.
And that map, that simple guide, it's the 4Ps. This framework takes all that crazy complexity of marketing and boils it down to 4 core pillars: product, place, price, and promotion. You get these 4 things right, and you're not just marketing, you're building a brand that's built to last.
So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through each P one by one, and then, and this is the important part, we'll see how they all connect to create one powerful, cohesive strategy. Let's get into it. So we're kicking things off with the most fundamental P of them all, your product. And really, this isn't just part of your business, it's the absolute heart of it.
Now, you hear the word product, and it sounds pretty straightforward, right? But it's so much more than just the thing you sell. It's the solution you offer. It doesn't matter if it's a physical gadget, a piece of software, or your time as a consultant. Your product exists for one reason: to solve a problem or fulfill a want for your customer.
As you look at these questions, I want you to zero in on one key idea. Stop selling features and start selling benefits. What's the real transformation? Why should your customer truly care? Answering that question is the key that unlocks absolutely everything else.
So, you've got this amazing product, but what good is it if it's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere? That brings us to our second P, place. This is all about access. How are you actually getting your product into your customers' hands?
And let's be clear, in today's world, place is so much more than just a brick-and-mortar store. It could be your website, a booth at a local market, the Apple App Store, or even a team of salespeople. The trick is to be where your ideal customers are already hanging out.
You really have to put yourself in their shoes here. Are you making it dead simple to buy from you? If your customers live on Instagram, maybe your place needs to be an Instagram shop. If they're local builders, maybe it's the supply store down the street.
All right, you've got your product, you know where you're selling it. Now for the part that makes a lot of people sweat: price. Because here's the thing, your price is never just a number. It's a powerful statement about your brand.
See, your price is like a billboard. It sends an instant signal. A high price can scream luxury, quality, and exclusivity. A low price can communicate value and affordability. If you get this wrong, you could sabotage your entire brand, not to mention your bank account.
You know, the biggest mistake people make here is just calculating their costs and tacking on a profit. Don't do that. Instead, think about the value you're creating. What's the solution actually worth to your customer? Look at your competition. Your price isn't just about making money, it's a strategic tool for positioning yourself in the market.
Okay, let's recap. You've got a killer product. It's available in the perfect place. You've nailed the strategic price. But if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, right? None of it matters if nobody knows you exist. And that's where a final P comes in: promotion.
And this is where you get to be creative. Promotion is literally everything you do to tell your story. It's your ads, your social media, your PR, your email list, every single touch point you have with the world.
And you can see right here how it all starts to click together, right? Your promotion needs to reach the right people. That's tied to your product. It has to be in the right channels. That's your place. And it needs to tell a story that makes sense with your price.
And this is probably the most important takeaway of the whole thing. These are not 4 separate to-do lists. Think of them like ingredients in a recipe. If one of them is off, if you use salt instead of sugar, the whole dish is ruined. They have to work together in perfect harmony.
This slide just lays it all out so perfectly, doesn't it? This is your marketing mix. And the real genius is understanding that if you change something in one of these boxes, it creates a ripple effect across all the others. It's all about consistency.
Let's just walk through this example. It makes it so clear. You wouldn't try to sell a Rolex out of the back of a van with a loud, flashy TV ad, would you? Of course not. It just feels wrong. Every single P has to reinforce the others to tell one clear, consistent story about who you are.
And that, right there, is the magic of the 4Ps. When you intentionally think through your product, place, price, and promotion, you stop throwing random tactics at the wall to see what sticks. Instead, you're building a solid foundation, a strategy that makes sense to you and, way more importantly, makes sense to your customers.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one last thought. So you've got your 4Ps all lined up, but what if I told you there's a secret letter that's actually the most important of all? It's the letter C, for customer. Because at the end of the day, every decision you make inside this framework has to be guided by them. The goal isn't just to sell something, it's to create real value for the people you're trying to serve.